Is okay. All right. So we are so excited, you guys. I apologize for the nasty weather in Iowa. And we were supposed to all be together in Des Moines tonight, and Sam was going to be joining us, but the weather had something different in store for us. So he tried so hard. He booked a couple different flights. Both of those flights got canceled. And then it's probably a really good thing because there's more bad weather on the way tonight. And Sam probably would have been stuck in Des Moines for who knows how long. So we are so gracious that he was willing to jump on a call with us tonight. And then those of you that have not seen it, we are still getting together in Des Moines on Monday night. Well, actually, Grimes at the Destination Grill. And if you are planning to eat, please let me know because right now I just have a set amount, but I told her I would let her know how many for sure would be there Monday. And we will have samples there for those of you that haven't been able to try. We will have those there Monday night. And I explained to the gal at Destination Grill, she said, no big deal at all. You guys can sample away. So they have no problems with us doing that. So we will eat dinner at 6 and then we'll sample after that. So any of you are welcome to come share that with your reps so that we can get as many as we can there. So I am so excited, you guys. I'm just going to briefly share something and then I'm going to turn it over to Sam. So I have a few giveaways that we're going to give away at the end because I feel like if I give them away now, we could lose some of you. So we're going to give away a sample pack of all four of the awesome supplements that we have launching, and then a new release top for new releases next week, and a new release bottom for new releases next week, and a $25 gift card. So thank you, Sam, for all of those amazing giveaways that we're able to do tonight for you guys. So stay tuned. We'll do that at the end. And if I forget, someone yell at me so that I don't forget to give those away. Okay, you guys, this wellness line, I could not be more excited. I am so excited for this because I feel like this is Zaya is giving us the opportunity of us building a whole nother business within our already established business, which I think is so big because we have a customer base established already. Some of us have teams established already. Some of us have a presence on social media established already. Some of us have our VIPs established already. So you are able to already take all of that and share this wellness line with them. So I know that, when we're sharing this with our teams and some of our customers right now, some of us may be a little bit hesitant, or we may be thinking, oh, this probably isn't something I'm going to share. I'm just going to keep doing the activewear. I just want to strongly encourage you to really look at this as a huge opportunity for you in your business. Again, this is something that we can add to something that a lot of us already have established. And a rep reminded me today, back when some of us that were part of Zaya during the COVID period, it was a time where some of us were saying, I'm not going to share. I'm just going to take a step back during this time. And I was like, no, we are going to put our feet on the gas and we are going to share this. And it was so good for so many of our businesses. And I wholeheartedly believe that with this wellness line, we need to be doing that very same thing during this time. This is such a huge opportunity for us. We share our activewear to help people feel good. It helps them feel good about themselves. They feel great with what they're wearing, the community that we're sharing. It's the same thing with this wellness line. We now have something else to help them feel good. There's so many people that don't even use supplements. They don't even know what to do, how to get started. So I just want you guys to know that this is such an opportunity for us to share this with our teams and with our customers. Also, really quick, I was with a previous company before Zaya, 2 years before Zaya, so 8 years ago. It was a wellness line. It was customers that could sign up on an auto ship for products. People loved these products. The 8 years later, you guys, 8 years from when I signed customers up on these products, I still earn a weekly paycheck. I have done nothing with that company for 8 years, and I still have a paycheck that I get paid every single week. Now, think about that. Think about if you sign 10 customers up and those 10 customers stay on these products for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years. You don't know. That can be something that continuously pays you month after month for these customers. So just wanted to share that because I think it's awesome. I think it's a huge opportunity. And these products are amazing. The people behind these products, which we get to hear from tonight, and how clean they are and how awesome they taste. I'm just so excited. So with that, I'm going to send it over to you, Sam, so we don't run out of time here.
Thank you, Megan. And I'm excited about you sharing that about the old wellness company and how important that is and how impactful that really is. Great information there. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm so grateful that you all jumped on and are willing to spend part of your Wednesday night with us. Or no, it's Thursday night. It's Thursday night. It's kind of been a crazy week. I was supposed to fly out yesterday, as Megan pointed out. Things were kind of crazy, and I even booked a flight Salt Lake City to Phoenix and then Phoenix in, because I was like, worst case, I get stopped in Phoenix and I'll just go to some spring training baseball games and things would be okay. But it turns out that flight got canceled. But if anybody's feeling bad about it, Rafa Para got delayed today. He's taking his family to Disneyland in California, sunny Southern California. They got delayed. So it's not just Iowa and the Midwest that's experiencing it. We're having kind of an epic storm here in Utah as well. But anyhow, I would way rather be with you tonight or today and throughout the evening, really sharing our thoughts and our feelings and the emotions that we all feel right now, because this is an incredible time. There is a buzz. I wish every one of you could come to the home office right now and feel and experience the buzz and the energy that's happening in our home office as we prepare to help build this incredible new line that we're going to talk a little bit about tonight. I do have a couple of guests that joined us tonight that I wanted to share with you. I don't want to take a ton of time because I think we're going to do some Q&A at the end, potentially, depending on how much time. Megan will give me kind of a text with a notice like, hey, we're out of time. So we'll do our best to keep on time. But this is a special team for us. Always has been. I knew it from the moment that I started working with the leadership in this organization, that this was different. This was special. And in fact, today I had a great conversation with Zach Bradley about some of the dynamics of the different teams and how structurally sound this team particularly has in the organization. There's leadership across the board. This was kind of an event that was created. Me and Megan were talking, and there were some others that were involved in that discussion. But there's so many really good leaders on this team, and we feel like we can go to the moon with you. We feel like we can do anything with this team. And so this is the first time that we have shared one of our guests tonight with anyone in our organization. Nobody in the company has shared it. One thing I will ask, because we haven't shared Joel, and Megan was going to handle that. I'll take care of it. I would just ask that we don't do screenshots and share it on social media right now, because this is it's a special time. But before we get to that person, there's somebody else that's really special. And I don't want to discount this guy because he loves this business and he loves Zaya. And he's been with Zaya since day one. And he and we sit next to each other. I can kind of hear him through the wall every now and again when he's screaming and yelling about sales or anything like that. But he is our CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of Zaya Active. He's been in the channel for a really long time. He has a really pretty incredible story, and especially recently, I don't know how much he's going to share of that, but we're really excited to have our CFO join us tonight to just share a few thoughts and a little bit of a kind of a state of the Midwest with all of you tonight before we get to that second special guest who I'll come back on and introduce. But I do want to turn some time over to our CFO, Mr. Richard Holt. Richard, come off mute, and then you can talk. So
Hey,
Richard, take it away.
hi everybody. I recognize a lot of your names, and I think I've done a call with Megan before a long, long time ago, but this is very, very cool. Yeah, we just got back from a trip to Dubai, and I missed a lot of you down there. It was a very cool trip. It way exceeded my expectations. I was thinking we were going to go into some, war zone, and it turned out the war was somewhere else, and we were just having a good time there. And Sam was there, and we had a great time. So everybody that could have gone that didn't, and those of you, boy, do your best to get to the Bahamas because these trips are so freaking awesome. It's just so excited to be around you guys. I'm telling you. Um, cool. I I don't know where to start. January was a good month, and we had a strong month in January, but February just blew it out of the water. And I don't know how much you guys know or not yet. I don't know how much anybody shared with you, but I may be the first one. February beat January by 16, well, 14%. It was not quite, I couldn't get to the 16 by rounding, but by 15%. We haven't had a month that has gone up 15% in 1 month for a very long time around here. And that alone creates goosebumps and a serious buzz around here. And we're very excited about where you guys are and where you're going and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to share with you not total numbers right now. Well, first of all, I just want to let you know that any new products that come along, we do the exact same thing as we do with the current products. We pay for them all in advance. So some of the other companies, they try to extend out and stuff, and it kind of hurts them sometimes. But everything that you will see, anything you see up for sale has already been paid for from our side. So just go ahead and sell it and know that we're as financially strong or more financially strong than we've ever been. This has been a really good opportunity for us over the last few months to kind of, especially with the Make Room Mondays and everything, to kind of get our inventory in right size and get our finances just solid. And it's really cool going at the end of the month knowing that we're good for the next month and next couple of months already. So this is really exciting. Really fast, I want to give you some just a little bit of a taste of how well you guys are doing. And I realize that everybody sells to more, well, I should say everybody, but a lot of you will sell into more than one state. But this information is going to be based on the ship to sales, the sales by ship to state. So if you're an Iowa rep and you're selling into Illinois or Wisconsin or anywhere near there, you can thumbs up all this kind of cool stuff. When I first started, right, kind of, I remember being in Mexico or even Punta Canas, we were kind of like, okay, who's the top three? And I was testing Megan and whoever was there, Savannah maybe. And we were like, it was always the same pecking order for a long, long time. But what's really, really super exciting for me is to watch the pecking order change a little bit, especially this last month. Some really good news. Some people are re-engaging in some of these states, and it's really exciting to see what's happening. So for the month of February, I'm going to get a drum roll and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to first tell you what the top states are, and then we'll tell you where we are as far as even a per capita basis, which that kind of talks about, how well we're doing in that state. And we can start even comparing ourselves to other competitors from there and see how we're doing. Anyway, so I'm gonna start. This is kind of cool. I'm gonna start from number 10 because number 10 state is Indiana, and Indiana has been floating with that for a long, long time. But over the last couple of months, whoever's selling Indiana, it's growing like crazy, and Indiana is now the number 10 state. Number 9 is Ohio. And number 8 is Pennsylvania. Number 7 is Texas. Number 6 is Michigan. Number 5 is Illinois, which is excited about Illinois because there's a resurgence there. Illinois for a long time has been floating around, kind of where Texas was. And then all of a sudden they've been growing up pretty good. They had a 21% growth last month. Nebraska is number 4. Minnesota, number 3. That would kind of blow some people away. Number 2, Wisconsin. Wisconsin had a 31% growth last month. And number 1, big Iowa. Iowa's grown to be the number 1 state. And what's really cool is they had an 18% growth last month. So there's unbelievable what's going on in Iowa. Um, the let's go to talk about sales per capita a little bit. Because that's really telling too. So we'll kind of we'll start with number 10 there. And this is kind of exciting too. And this blew me away because these guys haven't been in top 10 in per capita for a while too either. So Arkansas climbed to number 10. Montana is number 9. Kansas is number 8. And Kansas has been fluttering around a little bit too. And then they started hitting it. Wisconsin, Minnesota is number 6. North Dakota, number 5. Wyoming, number 4. Iowa, number 3. South Dakota, number 2. And anybody there from Nebraska, holy cow, just do a dance because Nebraska is number 1. And I believe on the stuff that I know and the stuff I've been tracing, I would go to the grave believing that we are number 1 above any of our competitors in the states of Nebraska and South Dakota right now. So, and Iowa, I think, is kind of even with our biggest competitor, if you know who I'm talking about. So anyway, you guys are really close. This is really exciting. And it's something that, I get really hyper over. I was gonna bring up something else, but I'm not going to do that. Now that Joel is here, he'll be talking about all this stuff. We've been, my whole career, I've been doing this since 1993, long before you guys were even born. And it was, and in 2005, was it? 2005 is when we, as an executive management team, started gathering around a former company. And I started actually working I was CFO of the company, and I was working for Jeremiah and Zach's dad, Craig. But every time I got bored, I'd go back and hang out with Zach and Jeremiah. They were in charge of logistics, and they were in charge of customer support back then. And they were just so much fun. It was so cool. And Joel was there at the time, and Sam came on a little bit later. But man, as soon as we had the opportunity to start building this thing, we all started migrating over here and having a lot of fun over here. And this has been the greatest experience I could ever imagine. And guys, I hope you feel as much excitement about Isaiah as I do, as much as Sam does, and everybody else here, as much as Megan does, because this company is just going to skyrocket. And I'm telling you, going forward, like I said, I get goosebumps over that. And it's worth living for those of you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. And that's all I've got, Sam.
Awesome, Richard. And I will just say, if anybody's zooming in on the background of you, there are some really, really high priority numbers on there that we probably shouldn't be sharing. So I hope they can't see the board behind you, but so move
They're
your
not
head
cell
around.
numbers.
But no, I really appreciate Richard coming on. He always brings a different perspective, and I can't tell you how seriously he takes this state battle. He really takes the state battle seriously. And one of the things that I love about that state battle is this. Throughout my entire 25 years of being involved in this channel on a field dev basis and looking at data constantly, wherever we are growing, whatever company is out there, it's not because this particular area of the world loves leggings or bras more than others. It's because we have leadership. That's what drives it. It really comes down to leadership. And so when Richard shares those numbers and he talks about Indiana creeping into the top 5 or top 10, we immediately start to dive down and figure out where that leader is, because we know it's growing because of a leader and nothing else. And so we're really, as I said before, this is a very important team. It's a very important region for us. We feel like we can go to the moon with this group. And I've said that, and I will continue to say that. But Richard brings a lot of great things to the company. And back in October, many of you might not know this, but Richard collapsed. He had been training all summer long for a big event and ended up going down to the senior games, which ages him a little bit, but he went to the senior games and he won a medal. And as he came across the finish line, he collapsed and literally died, having a heart attack type situation, and was revived and brought back. And And we're really grateful every day that we see his face show up in the office. And here it is, 6:22 p.m. and he's still there. So he burns the midnight oil there, and we're really grateful to have him. So thanks, Richard, for joining us. Now I want to jump over to our next guest. Our next guest is
Sam, I'm going to correct one thing real quick.
yeah.
It was about 7 minutes after I finished, so it wasn't like I collapsed right at the finish line. That would have been really bad.
That would have been better for, I mean, a dramatic effect. That would have been maybe cooler, but 7 minutes after, no. Either way.
Megan's got a cousin-in-law that happened to, and he's out jogging. So we shared some experiences in Dubai, and it's very similar, very interesting. Anyway, guys, hey, good to see you, and best luck. I've got to actually run. I'm gonna have to drop off. Let's really quick. Does anybody have any questions real fast?
For the CFO.
Okay, we're good.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Love you all.
Thanks,
Hey, take
Richard.
care, man.
All right. Well, thank you, Richard, and enjoy wherever you're going. So moving on, you guys have probably noticed there's a few other men on this. I see Trevor and Cody and this guy named Joel, who you haven't met, but welcome to all the men that are part of our call tonight. It's kind of fun to see that. I don't get to have very many calls where I get to see those types of things, but I wanted to turn some time over to the guy that is behind all of the new wellness line. Everything that you will see very, very, very soon, and everything that you will see in the coming months is developed and designed by this guy who's about to join us on this call. He's somebody that has spent a lifetime and a career building some of the world's greatest supplements. He really has. He's had an incredible career in that regard, and somebody that we stayed very close to throughout the years. We've known each other for, I mean, almost 15, 20 years, something like that. We've known each other for a very long time. And he's somebody that we've stayed very close to because we knew the capabilities that he had. Joel's lives here in Utah, and it's kind of funny to see his hairline is receding faster than mine is, and we've worked together for a long time, and so it actually makes me happy that I'm not losing it as fast. But he's a really good guy, and we've had a lot of fun, and he's always there to kind of lift the office. In fact, just the other day, we were testing some products in Jeremiah's office, me and Zach and Jeremiah and Joel, and he was mixing stuff up and flavoring and all kinds of, and the whole time he's doing all that, Jeremiah is ripping his shirt off and putting new shirts on. He's testing out men's items that are going to be launched in the coming months. And so he's always putting things on and trying them for fit and checking himself out in the mirror, and he's ripping his shirt on and off. And Joel felt like, hey, if he's going to be shirtless in here, so am I. So he ripped his shirt off and continued to mix things. And it was a lot of fun, but he brings a lot of fun energy. And in his private time, he makes smoking pipes. And he's never smoked a day in his life, but he makes these unbelievable wooden pipes. And so very artistic feller. But Joel, I'm going to ask you to come off of mute, and I want to introduce you to the world for the very first time, to the Zaya world. No one else has ever met Joel. No one knows his work. Soon you will. You're going to love it. I can promise you that. And if he can figure out how to come off of mute, I will introduce him to this call. And now he's off mute. So Joel.
I would have hoped you would have started with a less unprofessional example of who I am. But, what do you expect?
Yeah. Well, take it away.
Okay.
Yourself.
Well, I am Joel Rockwood. I am a chemist by education. But shortly after bailing out of grad school, I research and development, nutritional product development is something that I have been dabbling with my whole life. I knew I was going to be doing it one way or the other, and I decided to make a career out of it early on. I love it. I never get tired of it. And by the way, if I might mention, I have known Richard for a stinking long time. I have never heard him speak so optimistically and so excited.
So true.
He is such a cautious, person, and so to hear him speak with such energy and such positivity, my hat's off to you guys, because you must be doing a heck of a job, because that's not always in his nature. So the positive stuff is really good to hear from him. But I have just a little background on me. Chemist by education, started back at the turn of the century, starting making products. I made hundreds of products for varying companies, whether it be and people, whether it be some of the Grammy award-winning people this year, some of the professional athletes, Olympians out there. They all want to start different lines and different product lines, and sort of there's an underground sort of word of mouth that goes around, and there's a handful of formulators. I mean, there's plenty of formulators, but there's a handful that people go to, and I am lucky enough and grateful enough that I have become one of those groups with the Zaya people. I mean, we've been friends for, shoot, it's been 20 25 years, and I still I'll stop by Craig's house, Craig Bradley, and just see if he needs help with anything. They're just all the Bradleys, and Sam and his brothers. They're just dear friends. But when it comes to the products that I've made, I put so much heart into them. I feel like they're each my children. I often will say, each of you, if you have more than one kid, do you have a favorite child? That's a question I'll always ask in front of a group. And, there's a couple of people that raise their hands, but generally everybody's like, no, no. And I'm like, well, you're lying. Everyone has a favorite child. It's a dirty little secret. But I feel like these products are my kids, and I love each of them differently in a different way. And in a very, very strange way, I feel like I've had these children with Aaron and Jeremiah. It's been a weird blended family on this, because they have such good guidance with this, and Erin's very specific about the different things that she wants, and it's been a really wonderful challenge to put these together.
So
Um,
why don't you address that for just a minute? I would love to kind of do a little bit of a Q&A if you don't mind. I'm going to kind of interrupt
sure.
you at times, but
Yeah.
um, I want to ask you how it's been working with Erin on this project. What's she been like?
It's been wonderful and unexpected. I'll say. Now I know Erin from as long as I've known Jeremiah, and she's always been a wonderful person. But what I didn't know is how passionate she is about the her health and the things that she takes into her body, and how aware she needs to be. And I think it may have increased over the years, that she may have become more careful with what she takes in. But in the development of these products, I've always made things clean. I've never used artificial ingredients. I've never used I stick to natural things. But even my version of natural hasn't been good enough for her. And so I've got to really step up my game on what I'm using, and what, because all of these things matter. Where so many people that want to come in and have you make a product, they're just looking for something that they can claim this, and this, and it's going to be cost effective. It's going to be affordable, and they can sell it and make a big margin. That never once came into the discussion. Never a single time. It was to do it right. How much extra is it going to take? We're looking through all the ingredients, and she'll go home and do homework. I'll send her an ingredient panel. She'll go home and look up each of the ingredients, look, where it's derived from, and ask all of these, what I view as unusual questions, because she really does care. And so to have her sign off on these, and to be not just supportive, but to be excited about them. It's a big accomplishment because it's a very high bar working with her. I mean, it's been very rewarding, but um, I have had less complicated projects, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, she's been really amazing because one of the things that I've appreciated more than anything is probably the fact that it's not really about cost as
No, it
much as
never
it's
was,
about
never
the
has been.
quality of the product that she's getting. And you talk about where it's derived from and how it's sourced, and I mean, right down to the sweeteners and how we're sweetening things. So one of the things, Joel, that I would love for you to talk about, and by the way, if you guys will pop questions up that you might have for a formulator that's coming out with some wellness products, go ahead and put them in the comments. I can't guarantee we're going to get to them all, but we'll do our best to, maybe at the end, we'll try to cover that. But I asked Joel to talk just about a couple of the products today, and maybe you can get a better understanding. Some of the information you've probably heard on the podcast, and we are so grateful that you're listening. Joel was on a recent podcast. I think part 2 is already out. I think it came out yesterday.
I think it did.
But we recorded it, a couple weeks ago, and
It's a 10-part series.
it should be a 10-part series, but it probably will be. There's going to be a lot of information, but I've asked Joel to just break down a couple of those products. I want to start with Nourish. What can you tell us about Nourish and its inception and formula and everything else?
Oh goodness, there's so many things to say about this. I know we have a limited amount of time, and I tend to be a little long-winded, so I'll try and nutshell a couple of things, but still give you real information. There's about 30 different ingredients in here. We have a bunch of vitamins and minerals in here. All of those vitamins and minerals are derived from whole food sources. So you'll see on the label, you'll see shiitake mushroom extract, you'll see sunflower seed extract, pumpkin extract. That's where the vitamins and minerals are coming from. It's not from, whatever's chemically synthesized, or they took this and made that out of it. Everything here is real. It's actual food, or they've pulled it from the food. The label is very clean. If you look at the other ingredients, because we've sent out the panels on these, the nutritional information, we've got a little bit of malic acid, which is the same acid that grapes and apples use. And we have a little stevia leaf extract, which we could have included in one of the blends, honestly. So there really aren't any other ingredients. Everything in there is really active. They're not all green, though. We do have a greens product, which we're calling Nourish, which is a brilliant name for it. A lot of these are not necessarily green, but they fit into that category. There's a lot of adaptogens in here. We've got the rhodiola, the ginseng extracts. Those are adaptogens. They're going to help our body climatize to its situation. When you take a product like this, you really you're looking at phytonutrients and a whole picture of phytonutrients. If you were to go eat a whole bunch of blueberries, you're getting a whole bunch of phytonutrients in a really narrow range. I mean, there's still a bunch of them in blueberries, but they're all the same. This blueberry has the same as this blueberry. And if you get, blackberries, they're going to have kind of the same thing as blueberries with a small little difference. But there's a little there's a bit of crossover. But then there's some uniqueness to each of them. Well, we got rhodiola, we've got milk thistle, which is great for detoxing. We've got spirulina and chlorella, which are great chlorophyll providers as well as prebiotics. We've got the apple powder in here, which is a great prebiotic as well. Chlorella is also a postbiotic. So we have a pre, a pro, and a postbiotic in this product, which generally could be its own product. But we've blended into here with the cranberry. There's the pumpkin. I'm looking over here at the panel. Ashwagandha. There's a lot of adaptogenic. If your body is in a higher state, if it has a low immune state, it can support that and bring that up. If it's in a higher state, it can support that and bring that down. It levels you. It adapts to where your body is. And by helping to alkalize your system and provide those prebiotics and probiotics and give you this wide range of phytonutrients, that's what this product is all about. It's not just a narrow set of nutrients. Because if you just wanted a narrow set of nutrients, just go take some grape seed extract or some green tea seed or green tea leaf extract, and you'll get a really good dose of a very narrow range of nutrients. This has those in there, but it has so many other things as well. And I find it to be delicious, frankly.
Okay. So there was a question on here from Jocelyn that said something about I've lost it, but pushback on the blend because when it says blend, you don't know how much of each thing is in that blend. Can you explain?
Yep, I see it.
Yeah.
I also had someone push back on the blend because it says how much. Uh, the reason that we do that is for some proprietary information because there are so many people, and this happens. I've been hired to do this kind of thing. They look at a product and they say, I want to sell that product, figure it out and make it for me. If you label everything on there, it actually puts you as a representative in jeopardy. It devalues your product. It does create a tremendous amount of transparency, and you know exactly how much of everything is in there. But it means that my 12-year-old can make that product as well, and they can go out and go sell it. And then it really comes down to, who wants to market it. This gives us a proprietary product that is top notch. What we could have done, we've got 3 different groups in here. We have our greens extract blend, our nutrient blend, and our whole food blend. And we've broken those out into separate amounts so we can see how much of each of those there is. A lot of places that want to be very careful with their blends, they'll just lump everything into one. And so instead of having 3 different ones, they'll just have one and list this whole big thing there. We're trying to be as transparent as we can without devaluing the product. Do you think that answers the question?
I hope so. There's one more question from Angela. Do you want to read that real quick, Joel?
Angela.
Just curious,
how did you decide to use stevia as a sweetener and how is it derived from the leaf? Stevia is the reason we use that is because we didn't want to use straight sugar. Sugar has it has some complications with it. A lot of people want to, sugar used to be the devil, and then artificial sweeteners were the hero, and then artificial things are bad. And everything, depending on who you talk to, anything you want to look at's bad. And depending on who else you talk to, a lot of things you want to look at are just fine. The reason we've chosen to use stevia is because it has such a clean profile. It has a good sweetness that is very similar to sugar, but it's not going to cause an insulin spike. It's not going to cause, whether you're, in, a syndrome X, pre-diabetic, or anything like that. The sugar is not, stevia is not going to spike you on that, but it's going to give you a good, pleasant sweetness. That's why we chose stevia. There's a lot of other natural, higher intensity sweeteners that they don't quite taste right, and they make the product taste a little funky, I guess. They make it taste a little weedy is the word that I would use. So what we're trying to use is use very clean materials, very properly sourced materials, and use them at the right levels. We don't want to overuse it and make it too sweet or give it a weird aftertaste. It's really a fine balance.
Great. How about we transition for just a moment and just briefly spend some time. We're already at 6:42. I think or 7:42. We're trying to end it around 7:50. Just as an FYI to everybody, I wanted to have Joel just briefly talk about Restore and kind of why that's important right now, why we're excited about that, and tell us a little bit about it.
Restore is a great, one of my favorite products, by the way. Restore is a great product that gives us a good shot of protein. We've got 17 grams of protein in there, and it's designed to be taken. It can be taken anytime. It's designed to be taken at the end of the day. There's a couple of reasons behind that. One is we want to give you a good shot of protein for you to have in your system for the evening, so that you can fight off those cravings. You've had some good healthy protein that you can work through for the evening. You don't have to go get the dessert that you're craving, or that bowl of ice cream before you go to bed, or whatever it is that might be your particular demon. This also contains, so we've got magnesium, zinc, and a vitamin B6 in here. Now, vitamin B6 helps the body. It helps with the restoration process. It helps us metabolize and work through amino acids, which proteins. The zinc is going to help restore the body. It's going to block the calcium pathways. I'll try not to be too technical here. So the calcium pathways are what makes our muscles sore. If you have nervous legs or restless legs, the calcium is kind of activating your muscles, and so they can never fully relax. The magnesium in there kind of blocks that pathway, so the calcium can't make your muscles edgy or twitchy, and so it helps you relax more fully, which is one good reason that the magnesium is in there, as well as it helps with muscular recovery as well, because when you're sleeping, that's when your body wants to heal itself, and if you're sleeping, I'm going to say impatiently, that's the wrong word. If you're sleeping anxiously, and you can't let your muscles relax, it's really hard for your body to repair itself properly. So that is one of the reasons that we have the zinc, the magnesium, the B6 in there. Now, the mushrooms that we use in there is an equivalent of 10 grams of mushrooms in this drink, in each serving of this drink. We've got lion's mane mushroom, which is great for cognitive, executive function decision making. It's not going to keep you up late, though. We have reishi mushroom, which is great for the immune system. It's gonna help support that fully. Oyster mushroom is a great cardiovascular support, as well as general health. They're all full of beta glucans, which help support the immune system. We also have turkey tail, which turkey tail is a bit of a unique one. It has it's got like it's got a slightly different profile of beta glucans, which we've pushed that into both the Rise and the Restore, but we'll talk about Rise later. So those mushrooms, they're gourmet culinary mushrooms. They're functional ingredients. People buy these as their own supplements, and we've managed to add them in to this drink. Now, the fulvic acid that we have in there it's a fantastic add in my view. Fulvic acid's great for the body. It also has a really wonderful amount of trace minerals. There's so many minerals that we need that we don't get, and they're just on these tiny levels. We don't need a bunch of them, but we get them on these tiny levels, and it helps our bodies run more efficiently. Instead of using this much energy to do a process, we end up using that much energy to do that process. So the same job gets done with our body, but we can reserve the energy for something else.
Yeah, Joel, there's one question that I thought was kind of interesting about the breastfeeding moms, pregnant moms.
Huh?
I don't know the answer there, right?
I did not. I was so busy talking. Speaking here is a performance art. I can't read while I'm talking. Thank you for the mixed reviews on Stevia. Bodybuilder, amino acid.
It's our product's safe for pregnant breastfeeding moms. I mean, I know we're not in the claim business, so I don't know how to
right.
answer that,
That is what I can say is I am not aware of any issue that would arise. Pregnant, it's unethical to do studies on pregnant women, children, breastfeeding mothers. So they don't do a lot of studies on that, because the last thing any of us want to do is hurt a child, an infant. Grown up can make their own decisions, and hopefully they're educated decisions. We don't want to hurt an infant. And so there just really aren't a tremendous amount of studies on that. There is, that being said, there is nothing in here that that is used in quantities that I would consider alarming. What I can say is if my wife were pregnant, breastfeeding, well, first of all, I would be amazed. But secondly, I wouldn't have any issue with her taking the products.
Okay, Megan, I want to throw it back to you guys for just a minute. If you guys have any additional questions, I don't know how much time we have. I know we have some giveaways to get to. We have a lot of additional questions. I will copy this because this is recorded and
Yeah.
you can go
And
through and
there was
answer.
one question quick on, will Joel be speaking at Nashville? He'll be on stage giving us some of this awesome information, right, Joel?
There,
I am not qualified to answer that. You're talking above my pay grade.
yeah. So there will be a lot of product information. There's going to be a few surprises there. So you'll find out when you get there, but we will have all of the product education that you can possibly handle at that event. So
If you do get to meet me, great. I'm a really good handshake, but you should be there whether I'm there or not.
So that reminds me, those of you that have not registered for Nashville, you better be getting on that. Get registered. It's going to be awesome because there's going to be so much information on the wellness line, plus activewear line, so much. So there's still time to register, and we have a specific Facebook page set up for people that are still looking for places to stay. So get in touch with me or your leader, and we'll guide you through that. I saw one more quick question for Joel,
yes.
just real quick, about the zinc and the vitamin B. Like 410% of vitamin B, 180% of zinc. Are those dangerous at all?
They're not. You could take the levels that are there. If you look at the upper limits on everything, and it's all based on per kilo of body weight and everything, they are not at a point where you're going to be overdosing on them. If you look at a lot of the active, you look at active, what are the right words? Athletes, professional athletes. They're trying to get that edge in every way. They're able to take these levels in higher levels with no adverse effects. The studies are there to show that we're within limits. It does, when you start to see multiple hundreds of percents on the RDA, it does tend to raise some flags in some people's minds. Vitamin C is one thing. Vitamin B12, I take thousands and thousands of percents of those every day. Now they're a little different than minerals, but the fact is, a lot of those numbers are very cautious numbers, as they should be, but they don't reflect an upper limit of what your body can handle.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, Sam, I'll let you close her
Yeah.
up.
So well, are we going to do giveaways?
Yeah, yep. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how you wanted to do that. So should I turn it back to you?
Sure. Okay, I'll do those quick. And then, okay, so we're going to do a sample pack that I'll get in the mail to you because Sam did send me a sample pack that I can send out to you. Okay, I'm going to, Sav or Robin, can you help me watch this really quick, or Sam? I'm going to ask, what is one thing that is in something, and the first person to comment something is going to win. No, I haven't said it yet. Okay, guys, don't cheat. Okay, what is one thing that is in Nourish? Who was it? Okay,
That was fast.
I think it might have been Jocelyn.
John.
No. Right above her. Aubrey. No.
Yeah, there's no zinc in there.
Olivia?
Ashwagandha, that
Is it
looks like
Olivia?
that does look like Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. Okay, I'll get that too. I'll bring it to you Monday, Jocelyn. Okay, next we have a new top. I'm gonna go do the arrow over on my screen, and I'm gonna point to someone. I have my eyes closed. Okay, ready? I'm not cheating, I promise. Kathy. Shoot, it just says Kathy's iPhone. Who's Kathy's iPhone? Unmute yourself, Kathy. Kathy's iPhone. You are the winner. You don't unmute. I'm going to do it somebody else.
Send a message to Megan and she will take care of getting you in contact with the right person.
Okay. And all right. So the top is Kathy. All right. And now the bottom. Ready? We're going to do the same thing. Okay. So watch again for this. We're going to do name. So get ready to type something. Name. Shoot, I can't remember if you said that, Joel. I was going to say name where Joel went to school, but I don't think you said that. Darn it.
To name what?
I was going to say name where you went to school, but then
I did not say that. I
think-
said what I studied. I didn't say where I went to
Oh,
school.
okay. First person to name what he studied. Somebody.
Boom, Jamie.
Jamie. Jamie McAllister, is that who it was?
No,
Wow,
it was
there's a
Steph
lot of them.
Musser. It was Steph Musser.
Stephanie, yay! You get
Sorry,
to,
Jamie.
Thanks,
get
Robin.
this new bottom.
Yeah, it was
was.
Steph.
I'm a
All
real
right,
follower.
so we'll get
I
you.
think there were like 10 people that answered. It all came up at the same time. I didn't see it all.
Awesome.
Mine-
Okay.
kind of stuff.
All right, Steph, you'll get that. And then Kathy, whoever Kathy is on here, Kathy iPhone, you get the top. So hopefully you reach out to me. All right, Sam, thank you so much, Joel. That was amazing. I could listen for another whole hour listening to you.
Oh,
So I'm
thank
so
you. It's
excited
kind of
to-
you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, Sam, close it up for us.
All right. Well, guys, again, Joel, thank you so much for coming. And I'm glad that you didn't talk about any of the schools that you'd attended because this group, had a pretty tough loss to that school on Tuesday night. So,
Oh, did they?
anyway, so I don't know. I know that, yeah. Anyway, I'm not positive exactly where all of the schools that you went to. I know that there
I
were,
went to a bunch of them. I'll tell you that. It could have been,
so
it could have been any number.
the most important was the School of Hard Knocks as you went through this business. But we just want you all to know how excited we are about all of the information that is coming. And to be honest with you, you're on this call because you have a business. You jumped on this call because you have a business. And to me, that's the part that is really exciting. We have this incredible product created by a master formulator that is world renowned, that has created some really good products. We have something that we can market, but it's how are we going to market that? How are we going to get this product in the hands of the people who need it and who want it? And that really is what it's going to come down to whether you take advantage of this opportunity in the way that it is, the potential that it has for you and for so many others on this call. This has the potential of doing really incredible things for you and your business. And we are really excited because we're very comfortable with who we are as a brand right now. And adding in this wellness line is something that we're very excited about. But we have wonderful other products. The activewear that you've come to know and love is something that's going to be at the forefront of this business moving forward. It's exciting to talk about this stuff. It's exciting to have Joel Rockwood come on here and be the first team to ever hear from the formulator. I know that this is going to make other teams jealous. I know that I'm going to get a lot of phone calls tomorrow, but this team deserves it because you rolled up your sleeves and you did the work. I was telling Megan just the other day about a formula that I'm looking at from a team specific, right? I take a leader and I really dissect the team and I look at the business and I look at the organization. And one of the things that will tell me, I mean, you heard Richard talk about some of those numbers earlier, the almost 20% growth month over month in the state of Iowa alone, which is saying something because it's a significant market for us. It's 51% of our revenue, and it's a pretty significant level of revenue, is coming from that region of the world, and Iowa leads it. So when we look at, I kind of lost my train of thought where I was going with that. So Megan, if you can remind me or somebody, what was I going?
I think you're just talking about how awesome our team is.
Yes, I was looking at the businesses, and one of the things that jumps out off the page for me is I know this business. I've spent an entire career studying it and really the data, the metrics behind the business. And what it showcases to me is the work that's been being done at the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. where you're at today tells me a lot about where you've been. We can't understand the future without understanding the past, without knowing the past, what we've done, and some of those metrics and those KPIs and the data points that really tell us the story and help us to understand projections. It's one of the conversations that I've been having, is really trying to, with the leadership teams, the field leadership teams, trying to understand how those projections are looking for their teams. With this team specifically, and the reason that we chose to bring Joel onto this call specifically is because this team deserves it. You're doing the work, you're doing the little things, all of the reach outs and the activities that drive us ultimately to a sell, to a customer, or to a new rep getting started. That's the reason why this team is exciting for us, and why we say it can help us go to the moon, because we know that there are incredible activities and promotions and incentives and things of that nature. A lot of really good training systems that are available in this team and in this team page that I believe in, that are sound business building practices. And so that's ultimately why we're here. That's ultimately why we decided that this was the right team to introduce Joel to. It was the right team to have Richard come on and talk about some numbers. We're going to expand all of this information in Nashville, in Summit. And Megan said there is time to get a ticket, but I will tell you, over the course of the last several days, that space is starting to be limited a little bit. Now's the time to get your ticket. Make that decision, be in Nashville. It will be one of those kind of life-changing events. I will tell you that when we look back on this particular period of time, maybe it's 3-4 years down the road, when we really look back and we try to decipher what really made Zaya. There were some moments in the first 7 years, of course. There are some great things that have happened the first 8 years. But this is one of those defining moments. This will be one of those great periods of time where you are really going to be grateful that you've decided to roll up your sleeves and do the little things, take care of the little things so that they can become the big things. And so doing the work is really going to be important right now. In the coming days, you will be introduced as a rep to these incredible product lines, both the spa and the wellness line. And that is in the coming days. So be ready for it. Be prepared for it. It's coming. There are a lot of people who are excited about this, and a lot of people want to consume with it. Make sure that your team's part of that. Take advantage of this business opportunity right now. Megan talked about it earlier. When COVID happened, everybody across the board, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to react. We didn't know how to respond. But those that really came out and built a solid business were those who charged in. Those who said, I'm going to go and get mine. I'm going to go and create something for me and my family. It's my turn. It's my time. This is one of those opportunities for you right now. Don't let it slip by. Don't sit back and say, I'm going to see how everything goes. I'm going to see, what kind of inventory levels they have. I'm going to see all of those things and see if it's just the right fit for me. That is the wrong attitude to take as you go into this new wellness line, as we make an addition to this incredible brand. And with that, Megan, I can't wait to see y'all in Nashville. It's going to be a magical time, and one that I will definitely journal, and it'll be part of my career pieces that I'm really proud of. So thank you for having us tonight.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Joel, again. Thank you all so much for joining. I will post this recording to our team page. I'll get it out to the leaders too. So thank you all so much. Take care, everyone.